All right, Jeremy, thank you for joining me today. I really appreciate it, everyone. This is Jeremy Cox. You know him on social media as CryptoSipto. Jeremy's a crypto enthusiast who's been in the space for many years. And today we're going to talk about NFTs. Jeremy, thank you for joining me today.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
So, you've been in the space for a while, but as you know, NFTs only, I'd say in the last year, NFTs are really blown up.
Yeah.
So, what I'm hoping you can do, and for everyone watching, this is the first in a series on NFTs that Jeremy and I will be doing. So, in this episode, we want to start from the basics for someone who's just getting into NFTs and needs to know how to and what is going on. We're going to start this episode with that. Today is for beginners. So, Jeremy, take it away.
Yeah, thanks, man. So, really quickly, I think there's three pieces to the NFT like ecosystem, if you will. And the first piece is the story that's being told by the NFTs, and the second piece is the community that the NFT is bringing in, and then the third is how you market it. And my personal story about how I got involved in NFTs specifically was with Garbage Pail Kids, right? So Garbage Pail Kids comes out. Uh, it was about a year ago now, and I had heard about NFTs prior to this, as far as video games were concerned. I went to a crypto meetup, and they were talking about how in the future of video games, you're going to be able to actually buy NFTs, non-fungible tokens that you would interact with in the game. And I was like, that sounds really cool. But then it kind of, went away. And somebody had put something on Twitter that's like, oh, Garbage Pail Kids, the NFTs are launching tomorrow. And I was like, oh, okay, that sounds cool. And I went onto the website and I bought 10 packs of them. And I, the funny part is, I opened them up immediately because I'm like, this sounds so cool, and didn't realize that the whole idea of the marketplace being not only the cards, but also the unopened packs of cards would actually hold value. So, in hindsight, I wish I would have held like one or two packs of them just for like long term. It's the same thing if you have like the real actual collectibles, unopened packs of Pokemons, or going back to Garbage Pail Kids. Those could be worth some serious money because you might have like a super rare card in there, right? But um, as I kind of let Garbage Pail Kids happen and held on to my cards and was like, whatever. It was about like 6 months ago, 5 months ago, that things really started ramping up, and I started seeing these other projects that were coming on Wax. And I know that you did an episode recently, and looked at Rarible and also OpenSea as marketplaces. Um, there's a lot of different marketplaces for NFTs. And so I think, even to take it a step back even further and be like, the moment that you find out about NFTs and you start looking at marketplaces, I'm going to just share my screen really quick and show you this first one. That this is one of the other like kind of alternatives to the Ethereum thing that's going on. So when you're talking in NFTs, one of the first things that you're going to get uh, turned on to is the marketplaces that are running on Ethereum, which is OpenSea, it's Rarible, it's uh, those are the two biggest ones, but they're also the biggest marketplaces for people to start out. And it's really simple to like mint an NFT and make it. And so if you're an artist, somebody's telling you, oh, I've got this cool thing, you got to look into NFTs, and you find yourself on Rarible, you've got an image, or something that you want to create an NFT of, and you put it there, you mint it, and you put it on the marketplace, and then you're like, well, why isn't it selling? What's going on? And I think, it first and foremost, before you're going to get into actually creating the art, you take a step back and you become the collector, and look at it from a collecting perspective. So looking at these marketplaces, and again, we're on Ghost Market right now, which is um, one of the coolest marketplaces, in my opinion, for accessibility and for the ease of use when you're getting into actually clicking around. So when you're looking at, we'll just go into the one of the ones that are actually available. And here's another thing too, is you're seeing, I don't want to scroll around too much because sometimes the pieces can get a little racy, if you will. So you're looking at this NFT right here. And it's got some animation. That's another thing too. Your NFT can be anything. The limit to your NFT is your imagination. So when you're in these marketplaces, you'll see things that are really, really thought provoking, and then you're going to see other things that are just kind of a simple, Neo uh, um, logo spinning around. But when you're in the marketplace itself, and so now I know that I can kind of scroll down without the worry of seeing something kind of strange. All these things are acting differently, and Ghost Market in particular is a really interesting platform because they're really like music friendly, and you can create an album and you can put it up on the marketplace and actually have that album broken into all the individual tracks that can also be their own NFTs that are part of lockable content that you don't have access to until you actually purchase the NFT. So you'll be able to you can see, what's there. Let's see if we can find an album really quickly. This looks like it's probably not just a clip. This looks like it's going to
So
be an album.
you could potentially upload an album and then have each track as a separate NFT, or would it be one NFT file?
They can be separate NFTs. And so like an NFT can actually have multiple NFTs like wrapped up inside of it. So when you buy one, you're actually getting multiples, you know, um, which makes it also kind of interesting for the idea that if you buy the album and you might only like 4 songs off of it, the other songs you're like, hey, I'll sell those off, and then you potentially could make the money that you paid for that album back in selling the individual tracks off of it from somebody else that just wants to buy those, because it all also kind of goes into scarcity. There might only be 100 of these albums running around, so you've got um, uh, one of those 100 tracks, and somebody might want those that you don't want. You can sell them, and then you can buy more NFTs with it. So there's so many different options to how you're going to be swimming in the NFT space. But going back to being, the collector, and when you're going to be buying these things, if you're following NFTs at all, you've heard that there's a good chance that we're in a bubble. When you're seeing NFTs on the market that are selling for $69 million, and people like Paris Hilton are making their own NFTs. Taco Bell has made their own NFTs now. You really want to be like careful on what you're going to be buying, because if you are doing it from an investment perspective, that you want to make sure that you're going to be able to resell it, and that you'd actually be able to get more than you paid for it. So the stuff that people are selling, and to also, if you're going to be buying it on an Ethereum platform, you're going to be paying on average $100 in gas fees in order to purchase it. Because what a lot of people don't talk about in NFT videos and people and talking about it is that when you're playing in Ethereum, if you're creating the NFT, you're going to pay the gas fee. If you're buying the NFT, you're going to pay the gas fee. And there's another one. If you bid on an NFT that you don't get, you actually lose the bid. You still have to pay the gas fee on the bid. So there are people out there that are trying, but they're not actually getting anything off of it. And if you buy an NFT that's $100 and you're paying $100 gas fee, and then tomorrow it's worth 50 or less, even to sell it you're gonna have to pay the gas fee to sell it. So it's that whole notion of kind of doing your research and learning how it all works. So now to go back to the ghost market, that when you're here, minting an NFT, purchasing an NFT is not going to cost you $100. Actual transactions in the ghost market are pennies, like maybe $1 in order to make a transaction go through. To actually mint the NFT, it costs 20 kcal and I'm going to look it up really quick, just in real time. Your kcal to mint an NFT on Ghost Market right now at this moment, it's going to cost you $1.37 as opposed to 100 or whatever it would cost on an Ethereum network.
Wow, that's crazy. That much of a difference.
It's crazy, right? So this is just straight. You're paying for it with kcal. Now another one, and I'll show you really quickly before we jump into it. This is the Garbage Pail Kids market that is showing you all of the stuff that's available. And when you're looking at some of these prices for the cards, like $342, 2280. These are also, people, you can price out however much you want to charge. Whether or not someone's going to buy it is another story. But let's back up to these top ones. Because it's a sketch card, you can click on these. This is more of like the market too. When you're clicking on the individual cards or individual NFTs, it will open up a basically like a history. Let's see if it's gonna. Let's see. Go back to series one. Let's see if we can get to the history part of it. It'll show you what the most recent sales were and how much it was sold for. It's not working on here right now, so we'll do this on the second one. Garbage Pail Kids are sold on Wax, right? So Wax is another like marketplace, or not marketplace. That's a wallet that you have that also has this cryptocurrency associated with it that you use to buy things on Atomic Hub. And also,
is that like a Engine wallet?
No, well, Engine's another completely different thing. But I think you can have your collectibles, your Wax collectibles, on the Engine wallet.
Right. That's what I mean.
Yeah, so you can store your NFTs on Engine, but you can also, like, you'd have them just in your Wax wallet over here. So this is the Wax wallet, the Wax Atomic Hub marketplace. These NFTs are more like geared toward the collectible cards, and for that reason, there's a lot of different kind of like programming, if you will, or features that these cards have. So when you're buying, going back to Garbage Pail Kids, right? You buy a pack of Garbage Pail Kids, you're buying the pack, which is in effect its own NFT. But then when you open the pack, you're opening up 5 NFTs, or you might be opening up 25 NFTs, depending on how many cards are in the pack. So one of the more recent, actually, they did a Godzilla one even after Street Fighter, but Street Fighter did a drop about a month and a half ago, 2 months ago, and they sold packs, and they had both individual, like, standard packs that had 10 cards in it, and then they had ultimate packs that have 60 cards in it. And so when you click on these packs, these are like the most recent ones that are up for sale. Somebody's selling it for $12. These cards, the packs were, I want to say they were $10 when they launched. And this shows you the history of like what they're selling for. So right now you'd be able to, the average price on these cards is about $12.40 for the pack of cards. And what a lot of people do with their packs is they're gonna leave them unopened so that they can sell them as an unopened pack at a later date when more of the packs have already been opened up. Street Fighter has kind of an interesting dynamic where, again, from a collector's perspective, you're not necessarily going to be collecting what comes out of these original packs or initial packs, because these cards that come out first are like level 1 cards, and your level 1 cards, to go back to the marketplace and looking at all of the Street Fighter stuff that's not just the packs, because you can filter through and kind of, do you want to look at packs, do you want to look at the series, what do you want to look at? So these are the cards, and you'll see that, let's go down and see a real, like this one right here being that's still a little bit different. Like these power cards, this is like a power 5 card. You have to actually like burn destroy other cards in order to create these like higher level cards. So it might take you, 2 or 3 cards in order to trade up to these cards. But what you're doing effectively is you're destroying the base cards, the level 1 cards. And so it kind of creates I'm trying to think of the right word, like a deflationary model where there's less of these cards out on the marketplace, but they're creating more rarer cards as you level up, but there's going to be less of them. If they release 1,000,000 cards in level 1, but you have to burn 2 cards in order to get to level 2, the next level there's only going to be 500,000 cards in that second level, and then at some point you might have to burn 3 or 4 cards in order to get to the next one. So each kind of level up is making less cards available on the marketplace, right? And so
Let me ask you a question about that.
mhm.
So these cards are Street Fighter.
Yeah,
I guess the question revolves around you're buying something that has copyright.
yeah, they Wax in particular has a really interesting kind of angle, because they were the ones that came out with Garbage Pail Kids, right? So they partnered up with Topps in order to get access to the Garbage Pail Kids franchise. They partnered up with Konami or whoever owns the intellectual property rights for Street Fighter to do that. And then the other one is like Godzilla. They partnered with it. I think it might be Paramount or whatever the company is that owns the rights to Godzilla. They've done this. Another one that's pretty nutty, and if you're in the world of NFTs, you've heard of NBA Top Shots, right? I just found this out recently, and it's kind of funny that I've been paying attention to NFTs for so long, and last week was reminded that, or told that Dapper Labs, which is the company that owns NBA Top Shots, also is the owners of Wax. And so they've got this really interesting kind of model going on where, with NBA Top Shots, to kind of go back and take a step back to NBA Top Shots, the NBA Top Shots, and they're basically selling actual like moments. Let's see if we can actually look at one. We can't right now, but these little cubes right here are the actual NFT. And when you click on them and you open those in the marketplace, it opens up like maybe a 10 to a 20-second clip of an NBA player doing a slam dunk or a layup or whatever. And one of the most expensive NBA Top Shots that's running around right now is a LeBron James, and it's selling for right around $250,000. And that came out of like a $14 pack of Top Shots. So it's pretty nutty
That's
how,
insane.
yeah,
That's
but
insane.
their whole thing is that they basically bought into the licensing of NBA. And so when you're looking at a project like NBA Top Shots, they're when they're selling the players cards, the player's getting a percentage of the sale of those cards. And another thing to be thinking about, especially from a collector's perspective, is that when you're buying these things, you're also going to be purchasing like the everything that comes along with it, which would be like secondary market dynamics. And one of the secondary market dynamics is the royalty fees. So you'd actually have to pay royalties on like the sales. So let's just say that I bought a NFT for $100, and I go and I turn around, I'm like, and it goes up in value to $1,000, and I go to sell it. Well, in the contract, the royalty fee that's baked in might be like 10%. So when I sell it for $1,000, I'm really only going to get 900, because $100 of it is going to go to the original creator of the NFT, and that goes on into perpetuity. So um, it's always something that you want to consider from the collector side of, when I'm jumping into these and I'm going to buy them, do I what is the royalty fee, or like how much is it going to cost me to sell it on the back end, to be able to recoup my money, or to make a little bit of profit off of it. Because another thing that just is a reality to all of this is that when you're going to be selling your NFT, you're going to be creating a potentially taxable event, especially if you're making a gain on it. You buy something for 100 and then you turn around and sell it for 1,000. You've just realized $900 in gains, and the IRS is going to want to know about that. And then forget about that's just the actual NFT transaction. Then it's like, are you going to convert that cryptocurrency into cash? Because I'll walk you through really quick, going back to Ghost Market. Somebody that's going to sell this simple trade right here. We'll open this one up for fun, and see. Let's see if it actually has a royalty fee baked into it. Yeah, so this guy's going to be taking a 30% royalty cut off of the sale. So he's selling it for $200 right now. You buy it for $200, and then you go to turn around and sell it for $300. You're going to be paying the creator of this NFT $100 when you do that. So you're only going to see $200 of the actual sale. So it's always something to keep in mind. But now you've got the $200, and you're going to be reselling it for SOL, right? So then you're going to take that SOL and you're going to have to convert that SOL to Bitcoin, or mostly to Bitcoin on an exchange, and then you can convert that Bitcoin into cash or fiat through a centralized exchange like Coinbase or something like that. So that's always something else that you got to keep in mind. Now, if you decide that you wanted to actually jump into Ghost Market, the way that you would start with this is that you need to have a wallet, right? And so the way that happens, I was just going to show you really quickly here that you need to go to wallets, and you'd basically, click into, or I'm sorry, you would download the Ecto wallet, and it becomes an extension. And I've already done that, so I'm just going to go up here. Once you have it as a Chrome extension, it looks a lot like MetaMask. If you've ever done anything with MetaMask yet, it acts almost identically. But the actual wallet creation, just like MetaMask, is pretty simple. You can just click right here and click create a new wallet, and you click generate a new wallet. This is basically your public address, and then your private address right here. And if you like everything that you see here, it's you can generate another one if you don't like that string of characters. But for the most part, you're always going to see this. You can also make your wallet you customize. You can change the name of it. You would just have to stake a few SOL in order to do that. You have to put like 2 SOL in your account. But say I like it, I'm just going to put import wallet, and then just like anything else in crypto, you're going to have to copy this down. Either copy it to clipboard and save it. Don't save it in your Google Drive or on your computer. Definitely save it on an offline document. But you've done that. You've saved it. You just hit flash. You've done a backup. You put in a password. I'm just going to make a random password. And then here's your wallet. It's all set up and ready to go. And from here, then that's where you would buy your SOL. Sounds kind of weird, right? Buying and selling souls. I'll take your soul. But the place that you would buy SOL is on an exchange called KuCoin, and you'd have to go onto KuCoin, set up an account. It's really quick to do that, and then buy some SOL through KuCoin, and then transfer it onto your Ecto wallet. And then once you have it on here, your wallet is connected to the marketplace, and then you can buy your stuff. And if you decide that you're going to buy something here, like let's for fun pretend like we wanted to buy this for $104. You click on buy. It's going to want to connect to my wallet here in a second. It's probably not going to, because it's okay. So now I'm going to go into 1 second here. I probably crashed it because it's like, you don't have enough money in your wallet to buy that. So
how
yeah,
dare you, sir?
I know. Wait a second. You have $0. So again, that's how simple it is to create a wallet on that. Wax is the same thing. When you're going to go into Wax and you're going to, from here, you decide, all right, yeah, I want some Godzilla. You go and you log in, and you're going to log in with the Wax wallet, but you don't have a wallet yet. So you can just go and put in an account. And I don't think I have a wallet associated with that. Second, let me make sure I remember this because it might ask me to put it in again. I am not a robot. And then you could just click sign up. Oops. I didn't make a hard enough password. And then it also does this because it can. Let's try this one more time. Yeah, I have to hold on 1 second. It doesn't like that. If you try one time and you're using and you mess up, it's pretty much you have to start over. Okay, so I'm not a robot. You sign up. That email has already been taken. So it's pretty simple. You're going to go there. You're going to sign up for it, and then you'll have your wallet. But then you gotta buy Wax. And so where you buy Wax is on Bittrex. I'm sorry, Bitfinex. Bitfinex is the exchange for that. So that's one of the other kind of like challenges with wallets that aren't, or exchange marketplaces that aren't on Ethereum, is that you've got to go through kind of alternative exchanges that aren't the regular Coinbase. You can't buy Sol or Wax on Coinbase yet. You might be able to in the future, but you can't right now. And then, to kind of finish off, that's one of the other things that NBA Top Shots has going for it, is that when you're in Top Shots land, you can buy these NFTs with cash or with a credit card. And what is happening in the background of this, I'm going to stop sharing my screen now. What's happening in the background of NBA Top Shots is that it's on a blockchain, and there is a cryptocurrency associated with it. It's called Flow, but the user isn't seeing any of that. They're only seeing, I'm putting in my credit card number, I'm purchasing my NBA Top Shots, and I don't even realize that there's behind the scenes cryptocurrency transaction that's happening. And Wax does the same thing. When Garbage Pail Kids were sold, Street Fighters were sold, those were all, you were able to buy those with your credit card and not have to purchase Wax in order to do it. And that's kind of one way around having to go on to Bittrex or Bitfinex. I keep saying Bittrex, Bitfinex to buy your Wax. You can wait for a sale that Wax is going to have, that's going to be, a credit card thing, and buy some of those NFTs and then turn around and sell them on the secondary market for Wax. And then you would basically be able to fund your wallet with Wax that way. Okay. So it's one way kind of like around it. It's the most important thing, I think, what I want to convey before anything else, we kind of jumped around and we're showing stuff, is that you just got to jump in and kind of get your feet wet, watch other YouTube videos too about these different marketplaces, and, download a wallet. Don't, figure out how to get the money in there, and buy a couple NFTs. One of the things I wanted to mention earlier, when you're looking in the marketplace for the first time, buy something that looks interesting to you, because me as CryptoSipto, I'm really heavy into wine. And one of the cool things of wine as an investment is, let's say that you are investing in wine and you buy a box that doesn't do what you expected it to do. You still get to drink it and enjoy it, right? So if you're buying these NFTs, you'd want to buy an NFT that you'd enjoy looking at, because if you get stuck holding it and it's not really worth anything in the future, at least it's something cool that you have to show for it.
All right, great stuff, Jeremy. Thank you for showing us around on Ghost Market and Wax. So tell us a little bit about, you have a a course that you do every week on Discord. Is that right?
Yeah, we also have it's a club. It's called the PTC Crypto Club, and it's revolving around cryptocurrency, but it's also, the bigger frame of financial literacy. And so what our ultimate goal in all of this is to get people's kind of like heads out of the sand and thinking about money. And from first and foremost, it's getting more and more important every day with uh, um, the trends and the ball of cryptocurrency rolling as hard and big and fast as it is, that digital currency is coming. And the faster that you kind of like understand it, and not you don't necessarily have to accept it yet, but there is going to come a day, I think, in the next 5 to 10 years where you're going to have to understand how cryptocurrency, how digital currency works.
Mm.
And that's what we're really trying uh, to explain. And at the core of it all is, the OG Bitcoin and blockchain technology, because it all starts on the blockchain. Going back to the whole thing with NFTs, it's like NFTs wouldn't be possible without blockchain technology. And so the disruption that blockchain is having on the financial markets industry is crazy. And now, if there's ever been a time to be more aware of your financial literacy, it's now. Because even down to, putting your money into a bank and getting 0.01% interest, as opposed to going to a DeFi opportunity and getting anywhere between 6 to 15% interest, APY, on your basically your savings,
Mm.
is pretty compelling. It's I've already started kind of staking it away, that so that I can get better than 0.01% interest on my traditional savings account. But we teach it. We teach it every Saturday from 9 to 10, and I'm trying not to be as long-winded as, as I can be sometimes with things, but we really try to just kind of turn people's attention to money. And it's a hard thing to talk about. A lot of people we're programmed that, you're not supposed to talk three things in life. You don't talk religion, you don't talk politics, and you don't talk about money. And the third one, money, is probably the most important. And the fact that people don't talk about it, it's kind of a program. The powers that be, I think, like it that way. So
Well, as we know, they don't want us to learn how to do what they do, so they try to keep it from us. So, all
yeah.
right. Well, good stuff. So, this again, everyone, this is the first in a series. Jeremy will be back to show us more about NFTs and how to get involved in this space. Again, you can follow Jeremy on social media at CryptoSipto. I'll put links to Jeremy's Discord, Twitter in the description below, as well as those websites that we visited today. Thank you. Thank you again, Jeremy. I really appreciate
Yeah.
it.
Thank you.